Feeling good, Caleb.
Let's do it.
Doing a little sweat equity podcast with guest Ben Schmid, operator and founder of Partially. That's partial.ly on your domain. We're going to have a couple beers, midday beers, get into it, talk a little business, how he got started, and I've known him for 20 years, so yeah. So, Ben, let's get your voice on the mic so they know who you are. Get up to the mic. You can say something.
Hello.
You're also a musician, so this is weird that you almost looked like you're scared of the microphone. Like, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, before we get into talking to you about Partially, you got a plug, Caleb, for anybody? Off the top of your head? Nothing?
I got nothing off the top
God,
of my
you're really
head.
good at producing the show.
Yeah, no, it's going
good.
pretty well.
Yeah, you did a really good job setting it up.
Just
oh,
a little,
wait, I set it up.
A little behind the scenes look for everybody. We went from literally having a normal conversation 20 seconds ago to Law just starting the music and us getting rolling. So I didn't really have a lot of time to check my notes. My notes are in the other room.
Oh,
so.
the notes to prepare? That could have started a day before when I was like, hey, Ben's going to come in.
They're in the other room.
But call me the producer Nazi if you want. We'll give a shout out. The plug is the guest.
That's right.
We'll make the plug Partially, which is a payment plan for businesses that need some way to bill customers. I'm not doing your sales pitch correctly, but if you want to explain it, why don't you give your elevator pitch on it?
Yeah, so basically it's called Partially.
Why don't you move up a little bit? Yeah.
It's a simple software platform to help businesses sell their products and services with payment plans, custom payment plan terms. So you can either sell with a shopping cart on a website or collect money that's owed to you with an invoice. And both methods allow you to automatically apply payment plan terms to an amount that's owed to you. It's riveting.
Look,
I know.
No, you can spice that up a little bit. It's a cool way to, if you're a company, you're a small, medium business. We were talking about this right before we started.
Right before the music came on.
Yep. Where if you don't have a accredited agency, where you're not one of the big players, like we're talking about, Apple has Barclays. They don't.
Best Buy has their own internal.
They have Citi. They don't need that stuff. But for a law firm, for a doctor's office, for a
website, and really any business that wants to be able to offer flexible payment options to their customers, or they have a hard time collecting money from people that owe them.
Yeah. Because look, and we're going to use you when we have hiring clients that it's a pain in the dick to get payments from, because that wastes so much goddamn time.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of think of it now as a short-term memory thing. You know, where like, where you get bogged down with these little administrative things, and it's not hard to do. It's not hard for me to go invoice someone via our QuickBooks or whatever. But I have to use my short-term memory to think about that. And if I have to do that 5 times in a month for someone who hasn't paid, that doesn't free me up to get creative on where we can grow, or or just have free form thoughts, not be pissed about, hey, this fucking client hasn't paid us yet.
Yeah, and I know one of my first thoughts when Ben, you're explaining the product and the company is how many transactions don't happen because of fear of cost. Because
they just can't afford it.
Exactly. A potential client just says, "Man, right now I can't afford to buy this, and it can't happen. I'm going to have to wait." Well, no longer do they have to wait. They just every month when it rolls around or wherever the money comes in, you can explain a little bit more about how the actual transactions take place on the client end.
Right.
But you're eliminating that gap there for business owners. I think that's a really big gap an important gap to eliminate.
Absolutely. I don't know if it can be properly quantified how many sales are lost from people that can't afford a product right there at the point of sale.
Right.
It's probably very large.
Think about it in your own life. I mean, in a basic scenario, going going to a certain place, looking at a certain product, or even for your business, being like, man, I'd love to hire this company to do this, but we can't afford. There's no, I can't take, I can't take $2,000 out of our budget. But if you were able to break that up over time, you could.
Well, it's also cash flow too. It's like, in order for us to grow, we don't want to take a loan out, and for order us to grow, like a situation where we're using y'all. We have companies that are like, we need to get to the next level. We need a new web design. We need some new branding. But they're like, we can't shell out $30,000 right now.
Yeah.
And we'll go, cool. Well, why don't we use partially? You can pay us. We'll spread it across 12 months. It'll be evenly done. We'll get the work done in 3 months. But you're going to keep paying us throughout the year. And then I don't have to worry about it. Because the worst thing when you're doing account management is double going back and being like, hey, what's your accounts receivable? How come it's so late?
Yeah.
And then you got to fucking track these guys down. And it's insane.
And nobody wants to deal with that either. It's not an easy subject to handle with your clients. They owe you money. I mean, nobody wants to receive the call, hey, you owe me money.
Well,
right.
And but when you and I'm just using our stuff isn't technically like tangible. You don't get the product. It's not like we're making tables,
right?
And you're doing that, and you get a table, and then we go, okay, you don't give us the table. Like we have to do this weird dance where it's like, all right, you owe us the last payment, then we'll switch the domain over, and then we'll give you all the information, the logins back.
It's like 1, 2, 3, switch.
And and they're like, well, hold on a minute. We had some other changes, and I was like, that's a work order change. You had a contract. You can't fucking do that. So I think it's better though with a furniture shop or something like that. Like I just bought a house, and whatever you bought it for, whatever you got the loan for, you don't think about the excess like 10 to 15 grand you're gonna have to spend just
so expensive.
And you just bought a house too, and so it's just like you forget like there's an extra like 10 grand that just comes out of nowhere. It's like, all right, I need $1,000 to fix a hot water heater that these guys didn't do, and a bunch of stuff. Like we had to redo our utility room, and it'd be great to have like, hey, it'd be cool not to be like, all right, we'll dip into our savings to pay for some of this, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's more of your client with their customer kind of stuff. I mean, when did this start? How did it come about?
Well, it started about 3 months ago. It came about just tossing around a lot of different ideas for.
And this is New Year's Eve. We're talking. Right. We're recording this, so we put it out. We'll put it out the next Tuesday.
Cool.
So it'll be 2016. Sometimes we bank episodes.
So this will be on the 5th, I think.
But
this will be on the 5th.
If people listen to this later, because we're getting a lot of people telling me, hey, I listened to one. I'm gonna go. I've been going back and listening to the earlier ones. So for those that are backtracking, maybe it's May when they're listening to this. So
it was probably around September.
Yeah.
I'd say. I don't remember the exact date, but we started tossing around a few different ideas for variations on a subscription software product. We've been doing a couple subscription software products in the past with our other company, Store Startup, and just trying to figure out a way to provide some value to people with the recurring and flexible billing.
And we is you and your brother.
My brother and I, yes. We own the company together, Andrew Schmid and Benjamin Schmid. I'm Ben, by the way.
Yeah, I brought you in. I've been doing this a little bit. But I'm saying your brother, you guys work together. Your brother's about 2 years older. Mm-hmm. I remember because he stole my Dog Pound CD when in 6th grade. And he used to whip us with a rubber snake and beat the shit out of us.
I remember that.
Totally different guy now. He's like the most calm, like introverted, doesn't do it, like wouldn't hurt a fly.
He got his anger out early. I think.
No more snake.
I don't know when that turned, but he became a programmer, and I always say programmers, they're the queen piece on the chessboard. They're the most expensive if you hire them full time, and they're really hard to come by. Plus, one programmer doesn't mean he can do every kind of programming. There's 7 different kinds of programming depending on what they're doing. But he's, from all I know, he's very, very good at what he does.
No, he's fantastic. He's amazing. Andrew specializes in web-based programming languages. Of course, partially is a web-based software product. There's nothing to download or anything. You just log onto your merchant. We call it the merchant portal. So it's a hosted solution.
Nice.
Works on all devices and everything.
What are who are some of your maybe your current clients right now? What give us an example of someone who might be listening out there and they're saying, man, this sounds pretty cool. I don't know if this really pertains to my business. I don't know how I could utilize this. What are some of the businesses like that are using you guys right now? Maybe some examples.
We have a variety of different businesses using it, all different types of business, really. But we have a really powerful integration with Shopify, so we've found a lot of traction with Shopify users. So really, if you have a website on Shopify, you can integrate our app, and we can automatically apply payment plan terms to the sale of a product on your site. So you're able to automatically sell payment plans, custom payment plans at that.
That's
without
nice,
ever having to talking to your customer. But we were talking about this before the show. We found a lot of travel companies selling like travel packages, getaways type things. They're finding a lot of value with Partially. Continuing education companies. We have a few different medical education companies that are doing really well with it so far, and seems like their customers are really thankful that they can now pay these rather large education fees for course enrollment with a payment plan rather than.
That's got to be huge, because all I hear now is people bitching about going to college. It costs $100,000. The federal government wants you to be in that loan, so you're trapped in this cycle.
Well, what's the point of continuing education? To presumably be able to increase your income earning potential.
Or you have to, or it's mandated. Like if you work if you're a CPA or a CFP or you're an attorney, you have to do continuing education. But maybe you're younger, or maybe you just started your own shop and you want to be cash heavy. You don't want to have to deal with, all right, well, I got to pay this $3,000 up front, or you could just put it across the board. So I think it's awesome, and I think our friends were a little bit of haters on it because they're like, well, this exists in some capacity. And I was like, even if it does, it doesn't mean it's not a good, it doesn't mean they won't excel, because there's plenty of products that are out there that people don't know about. Right. But if you're making it simplified than any other system, because some banks will offer this, some of your merchant banks will offer this, but they make it too confusing.
Absolutely.
Like, what's the big one? It's not Stripe, and it's not PayPal. It's like not merchant.com or
Authorize.net.
Authorize.net. They're fucking, the back end of that is horrendous. Right. But that's a different thing, right?
That's a different thing. So
that's the merchant center.
Right. That's like a payment processor. They're like what Stripe is in relation to Partially. So they actually process the payments. Partially is a solution built on top of Stripe. So we work in conjunction with Stripe. They actually process the transactions. They actually store the credit cards and everything. They're the most secure credit card processing company in the world.
Yep.
But back to what you were saying about Authorize.net. Yeah, there are a variety of merchant processing companies that will allow you to bill your customers, log in and bill your customers whenever you want if you've collected their credit card information once. But it just goes back to what you were saying in the beginning. You have to manually remember to do that, set them up on their own manual payment schedule. And if you have different terms with different clients or multiple payment plans open at once, I mean, it can be a nightmare to maintain that. Yeah. Not to mention, you still will have to call the customer and get their authorization. So Partially is all timed and automated. All the payments.
I thought you had something.
No.
No. Well, I mean, fuck. I lose my mind. I hate accounting. I hate doing it. I mean, my big thing with starting our company was be very good on the legal side and be very good on the accounting side. But no matter if we're outsourcing it, we had Power M&A attorney Stephen Fantetti, our new co-host of the legal podcast coming out called Sidebar.
There you go.
That's a plug for you. We're doing that in January.
Cool.
And then he's also been on the Triple Option, but he did all our legal work, and he did a great job because he has that experience with the online section. A lot of attorneys don't have that. And accounting is the other part. But I still have to, we have an accountant, but I still have to know what's going on to be able to talk to him about it. But I hate the fucking, just the little bitch work of like emailing someone, hey, you haven't paid us yet. We were due upon receipt, or we had a net 30, and you didn't live up to your side of the bargain. What happens if someone's like delinquent or something? Does it hurt their credit?
As of now, no. However, we're releasing what we'll call a premium version. that will have a couple additional features. One of them will be to work with credit bureaus and automatically submit delinquent accounts to them. And then in that case, of course, it'll affect their credit. Another feature of that, the premium version, will be to have on-site checkout. So right now, the way it works is a customer actually has to go to another URL, a partial URL, to complete a checkout.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have it so they can have an embeddable widget on their site and complete a checkout on the same URL as,
That's awesome.
as the customer is currently on.
Yeah.
But the final, and I think the most important feature of what our premium version will be, and this will probably be released in about a month or two, will be a credit check system.
Woo!
So it'll give merchants the ability to optionally require a credit check. And if that credit check is passed or denied, they can either
all the black guys just dropped off. Am I right? Am I right, guys?
automatically
hacky
either
comedy.
Here come the
approve
emails.
or
Yeah.
disapprove the payment plan.
Shit. If I can count 5 black guy friends I have that know what a podcast is. Like a pod
JB.
what? Yeah, my buddy JB, and then 4 figurative friends. That's like Bert Kreischer's joke. I'm wearing his shirt right now while we're doing this, but he has he was one of my favorite opening jokes ever. He's like, I was hanging out with my black friend. His name is Imaginary.
That's
just,
pretty good.
Just crush, like, just almost a standing O right there.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, y'all are starting to figure out, okay, now we need to figure out the penalty part of this, but we also need to figure out the credit part of this. So it becomes tighter. The tighter it is, the better customer experience for your clients.
For our merchants, yeah. I mean, obviously the most important thing is that merchants are able to get all the money that they've put out there, that they've extended to people. And of course, having credit checks will increase the likelihood of them getting paid back. But back to what you were saying earlier, if a transaction is declined, we of course immediately send an email reminding them that they're legally bound to the terms that they signed when they originally checked out. And by the way, we produce what's called a customer agreement.
Yeah.
And whenever a payment plan is initiated, that it spits out the exact payment amounts on the exact dates, and the customer has to click a checkbox and type in a digital signature box.
Oh, that's good.
To accept the terms. And so we basically send them an email reminding them that they're legally bound to those terms, that we're going to automatically attempt the charge in 48 hours.
Yeah, no, I like this.
Then we continue to attempt the charge every 48 hours. We've had one payment plan go into default so far. Mm-hmm. The customers actually, they just forgot. Their card went invalid, and they didn't check it. So they actually emailed me today, and they're going to get going again.
It happens. It happened to me recently. I was like, oh shit, my bad. I just got a new card, forgot to change it all over.
And it'll continue to happen as well. I mean, it'd be naive to assume that everybody's going to pay back and that people aren't going to try to take advantage of a company's goodwill. But whatever we can do to maximize paybacks. And of course, having credit checks and some of those additional features that we're working on will help with that.
So here's one thing. I really love this idea. The whole,
thank you.
You know, it's providing just a really good value to a consumer, but also to the companies that are providing these products or services. And I really think it's something that's going to stick as well. I know you guys are pretty young, but I wanted to backtrack a little bit, and we touched on it just briefly. But I mean, go back to the very early idea stages of Partially, where it's maybe you calling your brother calling you, or whatever. You're sitting on a couch looking at each other, saying, "Hey, I want to give this thing a go."
You're listening to a little Newfound Glory, and you're just.
Well, we live across the street from each other, so we were in the same room.
So you had the cans with the string.
I kind of want to go even further back, because I feel like a lot of what you guys did before you had this idea, it set you up to be able to do this. We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
The whole idea of this podcast is to be like, if someone's 22 and they don't know what they're doing, I kind of always tell, like, we have an intern who's a total goof, and I go, look, man, just do a lot of things right now. It's not, you don't realize it's going to add to a lot, but it will set you up. It's the Ralphie May rule of be prepared to be ready. So like when he went to the Comedy Store after being in Houston forever, they were like, hey, can you do 20 minutes? And he had that 20 already ready to go. I feel like and I know y'all very well, so I'll try to give the shorthand version. You can elaborate, but y'all went to college. You've been doing work together maybe the last 4 years, maybe
6.
You went to grad school.
Yes.
I don't know if Andrew did.
He's had a little bit of master's coursework under his belt, but he actually didn't complete because he was, already more than educated.
That's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, you're so
it's like
educated.
I already know all the business. So
Don't
obviously,
think
no
I need to
need.
show up anymore.
obviously, no. I burned out. I flailed out because I couldn't keep a
Right.
3.0 because I was doing grad school, working 60 hours a week and doing stand up, and I was single, so it's like trying to get my dick wet too. So it was tough
Lovely.
times.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, some call me the business poet. Get your dick wet.
All right, we'll drop
Well, it
that
sounds
again.
crazy.
Put that as a
My-
keyword to tag in this. Get your dick wet.
It's your dick wet.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but I've always been interested in transactions, particularly online transactions. Ever since I remember doing business online and first checking out websites on AOL,
Oh yeah.
dial-up connections and everything. I just loved the notion of doing business online.
13.
particularly
in
transactions.
Florida. You?
And in college, my brother and I were just tossing around business ideas, and I came across the name Store Startup when I was domaining. I was basically searching for domains that could easily be branded or have a company started on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Store Startup. I was just coming up with alliteration companies, and I really liked it. Thought it was a name.
People love alliteration,
A
man.
great name for a company that could help people sell their products and services online. Bought the domain, started the company. My brother and I started helping people sell their products and services online. But we started with an e-commerce software product that my brother developed, and that kind of morphed into a subscription product.
What kind?
Well,
You talk about it, or is
yeah,
it
we
like
were-
an NDA thing?
no, of course we can talk about it. So
I don't.
it's just this was all.
They've worked on several projects that I'm not sure what I can bring up and what I can't. So
He'll give us the look. He'll
That's
give us
what
the
I'm saying. I'm
look.
trying to softball some of this. So
You'll get a dart in your
can
neck
we
if you
do
bring
that?
up something you're not supposed to.
All the
Because I ain't fucking editing this shit. Fuck that. I don't do that.
So all the products and all the projects we've worked on were kind of born out of necessity in our relationships with clients. So
Mm-hmm.
one industry that we started working in right away was food delivery, localized food delivery. So
I remember that.
basically people that wanted locally deliver fruit, vegetable baskets, or prepared meals, or we've got juicing clients, just really any food perishable item that's locally delivered.
I'm juicing.
And so these merchants need to be able to bill their customers on a recurring basis, whether that's weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. So we developed a custom software platform that would enable these businesses to custom bill their customers on a flexible basis, on a recurring basis. Now we came up with partially because of the shortcomings of the platform that we were working with. It was very, very hard to get a new client going. It would take a month or two. It wasn't a scalable product. We wanted to build something from the ground up that would be truly software as a service, in the sense that you could scale as fast as possible. We could add one user or 1,000 users a day. It doesn't really matter.
So one hiccup you guys were seeing in your experience before you started was sometimes the barrier to entry to get a client could be something's too expensive, and that's
Absolutely.
the problem. And you might get drop off. You might lose that potential customer, and or waste a lot of time. Because I'm going through that as well. People are going, how much an hour? And I'm like,
Right.
we're $186.50 an hour, but we'll work with you if it's a scaled big project. That price comes down.
Yeah.
It is negotiable, but they see that and sometimes it scares them off. So
Well, we charge $150 an hour for all of our work for Store Startup, and it does scare people. They don't understand that somebody could charge that as an hourly rate. But then I always ask them, what did your doctor charge you per hour? What did your lawyer charge you
that's
per
what I say
hour?
too.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
a lawyer's
the-
$500 an hour.
What did the plumber charge you per hour?
Oh, fuck?
What did all the house service people charge you per hour? And then you just kind of place it in line where it falls in the professional
They're like,
realm.
I got Obamacare. I got the shittiest attorney
So
ever.
Their math isn't ever going to add up.
Yeah.
But
They're like, you should be about
No,
$39.75 an hour.
I don't think you should have any problem charging what you charge because you're worth it.
But no, I did market research though, and I'm sure you did as well. I looked at our competitors in the Tampa Bay area, and I go, all right, Spark is probably Spark Co. I probably shouldn't give our competitors shout outs, but I do like what they do, and
Yeah.
there's enough in this area, so I'm not worried about
There's enough to
market
go
share.
around.
Oh wait, if anything, there should be 40 of us
Right.
type shops opening up, but they charge well over 200 an hour, maybe 400 an hour, but they built that number up. When we're young, the experience level isn't as well. Plus, we haven't gotten our marketing around the way I want it to do case studies, which you guys are going to have to do as well.
Absolutely.
Which we were talking about off air. Get those reviews, get those clients that are happy, use that as collateral to sell the product. Hey, look at X, Y, and Z company over here selling fire hoses. They sell fire hoses to municipal, fire stations. They have a partially planned. Look at this testimonial from this real human being kind of thing. So,
Reviews are huge.
Yeah, well, there was just a study done. It was mainly for travel, I believe it was for hotels. But there was a study done, and I saw this on the Today Show, so I have to take it with a couple grains of salt. But
that's a red flag.
yeah, but it was over half of the reviews you see online for hotels are either fake or from competitors. But about even to just less than half are actual real reviews.
Yeah.
So
Consumers can sniff them out. You can.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If
Amazon does that well.
Yeah.
Well, they'll go, this is a helpful review.
Yes.
Look at this, and then the quality control of people thumb upping the actual decent reviews geeks it up.
Right. So it helps to kind of have that. But in what you guys are doing, that's apples to oranges in this regard. But I just thought that was kind of an interesting stat that they kind of spat out. But kind of
must be nice to watch the Today Show, huh? I haven't watched that in a while. Been working every morning.
I haven't either.
It's on at 7, guys. Catch the first 20-25 minutes.
No, I'm already working. But yeah. It must be nice.
So, all right. So I kind of want to get back into this, and this is kind of the first question I asked. I don't think we fully got around to it, but what I'm kind of interested in is, to me, this isn't something that I would necessarily think of off the top of my head to start up. And I think somehow the best ideas often elude a lot of people. So I'm fascinated you guys thought of this. But I mean, what was it? Was it your previous work that kind of led you to saying, man, these clients that we have already we can tell there's a need for this? Or was it just strictly, hey, we want to develop this and kind of, we want to develop some sort of software for consumers and for business to business, and you just happened to stumble upon this? Or how did it come to be this specifically?
Well, it's a combination of things. Number one, we knew we wanted to develop a new product, particularly for businesses. Number two, it did have to do with our past experiences with our store startup clients with their subscription processing needs. But mainly it was just our own internal market research, just noticing trends, seeing what's out there. I bought a guitar a few years ago with a payment plan with a company called American Musical Supply. This is a larger company. They have their own internal credit department.
Do they work? Are they like contracted with guitar centers, or is it something?
No, they're just a very large online retailer for a variety of musical instruments. I bought a very nice high-end Martin guitar there, and that I would have otherwise not been able to afford without a payment plan.
Right.
I had 8 easy payments. It was great. The money was automatically drawn from my account once a month, and we had the idea before that experience, but that experience solidified I guess I thought there was a need out there for it. So once I did that, I knew that there was a real need for it.
Yeah.
We started toying around probably right there.
Nice.
With setting it up.
Well, I mean, you did Business 101. So here's the thing I always talk about with a lot of people too. You realized a need. There's a vulnerability, right? There's something there where you don't have that company had that, but not every small, medium business has access to do it.
Well, it was an internal program that they developed. That's what I was saying earlier. It's not really for larger businesses because they can afford to develop their own internal program.
Exactly. But also the larger businesses that are maybe going from medium to large, however you set those, it feels like those are kind of elastic terms. But at the same time, they may want to just save money by not having to have a whole programming department, which honestly, if you're hiring an in-house programmer, at least $100 grand, at least.
Of course.
And if you're trying to do it through India or Cambodia or whatever,
you
just wasted a dickload of time. So, I mean, I think people are trying to realize that now, where they're like, oh, fuck you, I can get it done in India. It's like, yeah, who's your project manager in India?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
John.
Oh, no, we did it through Fiverr. It's fine. And it's like, no, that's not going to work.
Well, companies need to stick to their core competencies. I mean, it's when you start biting off more than you can chew.
That's a business school term.
When you start biting off more than you can chew and start trying to increase not necessarily your service offerings, but the types of processes that you have to internally manage, it's undoubtedly going to reduce the quality of your work or your service. So, if you want to hire a web developer and a software developer and create a new department within your company, it's probably going to take time and resources away from your core competencies and the things that you're already doing and providing value for.
That's
people.
what you call us, Tokubaga Consulting.
Exactly.
TOCOWORKS.com. Hit me up. Email me with any questions. law@tocoworks.com. All right, and we're back.
Back into it.
That's the thing. Like, but here's the big thing I was trying to get to is, I like doing this podcast. I like doing it a lot because it is the conversations Caleb and I were having over and over. Ben and I have these conversations just because we're interested in this kind of world.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people can listen to this, but it takes, you got to have a little bit of grit or a little bit of oomph to go, okay, I'm going to take this idea. Because I get a lot of stoner ideas is what I call it.
Everybody has great ideas, but to be able to execute, there's barriers to entry and everything. And of course, you need to have the education and ability to be able to execute on your idea. But then the effort, the grit, the hard work. Everything.
How many people give you an app idea and you're like, does it exist?
10
I don't know.
10 ideas a day.
Did you even go through the iTunes store to see if this thing exists? And they're like,
that's not even step one. That's a preliminary to step one.
That's before you start talking to me about it.
Yeah, it's before you open your mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Great point.
I'm like, I think that kind of exists. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like,
oh, okay.
If I know it exists, it's not good. That's not a good start. Because I'm in the app game, but I'm not like well versed. I'm not like, there's fucking millions of apps now, and you can't.
Well, and it's kind of something you touched on a little earlier. You being Law, my fingers pointing at Law.
Uh-huh.
For those of you watching on our webcast that doesn't exist.
Oh, thanks for setting that up.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it looks good.
Yeah.
So it was one of the things where there may be a company out there that's already doing something that you want to do. For instance, Law alluded way earlier to this, but he kind of went back around to it when he talked about Spark.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, we do essentially the same thing as Spark. They might do it on a little larger scale as far as clients go right now, and that's great. But that didn't hinder Law from starting TocoWorks. And you have to kind of have the mindset, just because there's already someone out there doing it doesn't mean you like. Hey, if you get scared when you see another company that's already out there doing something you want to do, you shouldn't venture out any further.
No.
That should motivate you to say, all right, I'm going to find out what their flaws are and what I can do better, whether that be my marketing and branding, whether that be the services we provide, whether that be providing a totally different service or just adding a different, kind of aspect to your business. And I just think that's such a powerful thing when people are like, oh man, yeah, that already exists. And you can see them kind of giving up or deflating, and kind of, whether it's their speech or their body language or whatever it is. If you're beat at that point, you're done.
Yeah.
Get out now.
That
should, and my point is that should motivate you.
We've invested in an app called Questly, and it's a good idea. It's basically an RPG game for your life.
For real life.
Yeah, it's fun.
Really cool. I've checked it out.
It's a cool idea. Josh, my partner, I have to say business partner because some people think I'm gay. But my partner.
Which is okay. It's that's fine.
No, that's fine. No, that's cool. But my wife is like, business partner, Josh. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh, gotcha.
He made a great 135-page brand book. We didn't know. We're taking, that's one of the risks we're taking because we spent a lot of hours into it. We also, but even in that kind of like, hey, they're not off the ground yet. Now we have that collateral to always show someone, hey, if you need an app branded, here's what it's going to look like. And at the same time, it's like, there's already kind of 3 different apps that are similar, but none of them have taken off because they haven't figured out how to get businesses involved, how to bring in, how to monetize it correctly.
Yeah.
And I thought it was genius. I came up with it, but it's really just from playing Halo in college. Why don't you give a point system like a video game to the people in your local area?
Yeah.
So the idea of Questly was like you'd get points for like, all right,
Steal that Ferrari.
yeah, go steal that Ferrari.
That better be a lot of points.
Well, the altruistic, the genesis of it was like altruistic. So let's say you've got you're a single mom, and like, hey, I'll challenge someone to fix this street light or something like that. Or fix my lighting or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Fix the curb, something like that. Something simple.
Right. Something the city should do.
Something the city should do, but well, maybe I'm too libertarian. I don't think they're going to do any of that shit. But
I'm with you.
But you're challenging the neighborhood to do something better, or find this cat. Help us find this cat. We'll put an APB out, and so you get points if you accepted it, and then if you actually got the cat or whatever the mission was. And then it started to be like, oh, we could do this with small businesses. Say you're a bar. All right, you have to take a picture inside this bar, post it on Questly, and then you'll get points back, but you'll also get a discount at the bar.
Exactly.
And it brings people to that bar as part of the game. Well, life is the game. If you look at it like Zelda or something, it's like, all right, I'm going around town and I'm trying to do shit and just I want to get points for it.
And that's the part that I think maybe these other companies, just from having looked into it, and talking with Law and Josh, and the part that other people may have failed at is finding a way to take it from the app and from the game and to finding a real life benefit. I don't play Candy Crush just so. I don't play Candy Crush, period. But it's like if you could take your Candy Crush points and turn them into drinks at the bar, there'd be a lot of really rich moms out there who just sit up all night and just play Candy Crush because they can't sleep.
Amazon gift card or
it's just like
that's what we're trying to do.
You're incentivizing actions that businesses would want their customers to perform.
Shit, remember when we used to do I Win or I Won? Remember that the gaming site that gave you points? We got like VCRs in high school and shit. Do you remember that with Moser? You don't remember that site?
I don't think so.
You could.
That was a different Ben Schmid.
No.
No, I think it was a different guy.
No, you did it too. It was like we were like 9th grade. It was called I Win or I Won, and then they got bought out by like Yahoo or something.
Maybe.
But it was like you played games, you got points, and then they were like you can choose from these amount. But there was a way to game the gaming system. Right. It was really interesting.
Take advantage of it.
All right, I'll look that up. Okay. I Win or I Won.
Yeah, what I was going to say a couple minutes ago, a really good piece of advice I got when I was younger was if you have something that you want to do, a business you want to start, or something you want to do to make money, go try to find 4 to 5 other people doing it. If you want to work for them for a couple months, do that. Or just research them and investigate them. But just figure out the things they're not doing well and figure out the things that they're doing really well. You improve the things that they're not doing well and you take advantage of things that they are doing well. But what Caleb was saying earlier, how many ideas are there out there that nobody's doing yet? It's very hard to come across a new concept. And even if it is an amazing new concept, it's still going to cost a lot of money to educate the marketplace about that new concept. So I've always thought that the best way to make money is to take pre-existing services or pre-existing products and make incremental improvements.
Yeah.
Don't try to reinvent the wheel.
Yep.
Try to make something that's going to provide a little bit of value on top of what's already there, what people are already using. Mm-hmm. So there's no need to be afraid of existing businesses or existing services. Study them, research them, and figure out how you can improve upon them because there's plenty to go around.
It's like the fleshlight. Follow me. All right? Masturbation's been around for a long time.
Fleshlight's the only product I'm even aware of in that space.
The first product's your hand. That's original.
I don't know.
That's the original.
That's not a product.
Follow me.
It's not a product.
Follow me.
Unless you're an amputee.
I'm following you, but I'm just saying.
That's the product. Okay, that's the original.
Okay.
But it's working. It works. I've been trying to work this bit out on set.
Well.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to go lefty if you're a righty. Normally, switch it up.
Sometimes.
David Justice style. Be a switch hitter. But
I don't want to call my hand David Justice.
I call it the hand of justice, though.
Justice isn't a bad name.
I beat it because it's the hand of justice. So here's what I'm saying is like, If that's a product, it already works. It's worked for literally thousands of years. Yes. Fleshlight comes along and they go, hey, we can improve this. We can improve masturbating. And now every comedian I know owns one. So I swear to God, it's so weird. But I'm saying like that they didn't go, hey, we're gonna think of a new way to get your jollies off.
Right.
They basically go, hey, we could do this a little bit better.
Well, and all right, let's take it around to maybe something. I've never used a fleshlight. I don't plan on doing it. I'm not knocking you if you do.
Some comedy in here, like,
but no,
I feel like
absolutely.
You guys are like burned out or tired.
No.
I'm trying to interject some jokes to make people entertained by this.
We're just hitting them with straight talk. But I think let's take it to something we've all probably used. Uber. I mean, if you haven't taken Uber by now, you just do it just to try it. I think it's great. For my 9 to 5 the other day, I Ubered to 2 different places, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I was able to multitask and do a bunch of things, but with Uber, what did they do? They just capitalized on what the taxis couldn't provide, and that's a non-sketchy way to get around that you didn't feel
efficient communication platform.
Yeah, the you didn't feel like you're getting cheated by the taxi drivers. You felt safe.
Hey, buddy, no credit card machine doesn't work.
No lie. I went into a taxi one time, and I had a ride that ended up being $21. I paid with my card. The guy he had to like punch it in his little, card swiping system. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't have gone through. He tried to charge me $21,000, and he's like, "It's declining. I'm like, "Yeah, well, you know what? Like,
I don't have 21,000
sorry.
in my account right now.
Are you see where you're dropping me off right now? Like, you think I have 21 grand?
Oh, you don't have 21?
No.
In your account?
No, sorry.
I used to hate it. You'd call them at like 3 a.m. You'd be like, "Oh, I need a cab." They'd be like, 25 minutes. You're like, what?
Yeah.
25 minutes?
Yeah.
So I got to wait outside for 30
and they're
minutes?
like,
when are they going to be here?
And then it's an hour because they're like, I don't know where you are.
Well, but it's like, what are you doing that it's going to take that? Like, they're just lined up everywhere, not doing anything.
And they're on the fucking phone the whole time.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I think they were talking to the 7-Eleven guys. That was my theory. Because the both of them would be on the phone all the time.
Yeah, the actual...
Our racist listeners are at an all-time high. The phones are blowing up. They love it.
Look, fuck your PC worriedness. Fuck your white guy guilt. Look, this is just shit. Yes, you do. This is just shit I noticed. Like,
white guy guilt's not a real thing. If it is a real thing, then you need to figure shit out yourself. White guy guilt's not.
Oh, are you serious? Have you not
I
seen
don't
the
have
New York Times where it's like being a white male is the biggest privilege ever and shit like that? It's like, yeah. I got so much privilege. We're doing this on a fucking picnic table podcast. No, I sat around and figured out how to do a podcast and do stand up and all this shit.
So
no one goes, here you go. Here's the gifts of doing this. I fucking ate it for 10 years and then fuck.
All right, Law doesn't want to be white anymore. Law doesn't want to be white anymore. What I was getting at was talking about Uber. Is that Uber came along, they found a need, they fulfilled that need. That's what obviously the majority of businesses do. It's what we talk about a lot on this podcast.
They filled in the gaps. They made the incremental improvements on a flawed business model.
And how many people do you think went around when Uber was trying to do first round of VC funding? How many people do you think turned down Uber? I would say the vast majority.
Wasn't there there was one big investor that said no. It was dude who owns FUBU, I think.
Well, a lot of people that
guy turns down everything. If you watch Shark Tank, I don't know why that guy's on the show. I don't know.
He got lucky with FUBU, and nothing else is really.
I'm like, you put 4 letters on a shirt, and you're
terrible.
And you're a mogul.
I was more of a Lugz guy, but yeah, I totally get it.
I mean, I can see how people would be a little bit afraid of investing in a technology like Uber. I mean,
absolutely.
I would have loved the opportunity to invest in it, but you also have to think, I mean, how many people are somehow connected to the taxi industry, whether it's a local government or whether it's an entrepreneur that has some type of investment. It's an industry that needed to be protected. They're still fighting tooth and nail to protect it. The only people that are benefiting are the stakeholders in the taxi industry. It's obvious that Uber provides a lot more value than a taxi service to the common consumer.
Love the slam campaigns.
I'm very passionate about providing value to consumers. I mean, that's the whole purpose of a business, to provide value. So don't protect an industry that is not providing as much value.
More specifically, if you are against Uber as a city, you are for DUIs, and that's my thing. Like, don't fucking do this under the guise of safety, because there is it's like a seesaw. The more Ubers out there, the less DUIs will happen.
It's sad.
And the better that spreads, the better. Fucking DUIs are insane, but they're revenue generators as well. So you have to look at the incentives on the other side. Same with like speeding tickets. It's under the guy. Are you guys both looking at your phone? What,
the
you think I'm going to do like a 5-minute rant or something?
The policymakers should feel ashamed of themselves, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Totally ashamed of themselves for being so obviously crooked and only doing it for monetary purposes. And the fact that they're doing it under the guise of safety is terrible.
So, we don't need to do any more partially questions, but since seriously, but you're in the tech world.
But we're glad you're here, though.
You're in the tech world, so it's good to kind of have a guest in that we can kind of get your beat on, like, do you think that transparency effort's going to get a lot better, compoundingly better? Or, because it's like Moore's Law, like technology goes at an exponential rate.
Right.
Can we keep up with that, or is there going to be more roadblocks? Do you think like shit like this will be more transparent 5 years from now? I feel like there's a lot, and you know this too.
Well, certainly the point of software is to simplify things, and I'd say transparency is a byproduct of simplification. And however, I do feel that there will be legislative and other things that will prevent transparency and some of that value that could potentially occur with software from coming to the front.
How about this?
Purposely slowed growth. Now, of course, if a lot of those barriers weren't there, technology and software would be increasing at a much, much faster rate. I do think transparency, though, is a huge component in the development of software. Customers want to know what's going on. People want to see exactly what's going on at the top as well as the bottom.
Yep.
Nobody feels good working with a company that they don't know what's going on.
Well, and that's been a little bit of our branding is that, into a fault, my biz partner Josh hates it, but I want us to be transparent about what cost what we're really thinking as much as I can be.
Right.
There is a little bit of a dance when you're working with anybody, but I think that it comes from more of a comedian standpoint, and as a musician, it's probably the same thing where you're like, if I'm doing my lyrics, I'm not writing about something I didn't experience, kind of thing. And then some asshole will go, well, you know who's got the most lobbyists is Google and Facebook. And I'm like, good. They seem to have a consciousness that like is well beyond the oil companies. And they seem to be very transparent about their intentions of what they want to do. Hey, Google wants to do driverless cars. That's fine. They do a press release 10 years before they even have to. You know, shit like that.
I think people are scared of Google and Facebook just because of the mass amount of data collection and the incredible power and value that data has. I mean, how valuable is the data that Google collects? I mean, it's worth trillions of dollars. It's insane how much money.
I talked about this last night. How reliable is that data? I mean, it's
extremely reliable.
Extremely reliable in comparison to other data. So I don't know how reliable everything is. Because what if someone used your phone or laptop and they're fucking around on that?
Right.
So it's not 100. It's not 100%.
There's a small margin of error. I'm sure with everything.
I think it's bigger than normal.
Well, that's using software services. That's one of the number one benefits, particularly as it relates to marketing, because everything is perfectly measurable. Not perfectly, but everything is very measurable compared to existing marketing platforms like a billboard. You can't measure impressions really. It's only expected impressions.
Yeah, that's billboards. They're a necessity if you're a big brand, but like a CBS show or something like that, Big Bang Theory, whatever you got to have. But I mean, we come from the online marketing world, growing up in the AOL 90s era, where it's like, you got any GIFs? You got any GIFs?
GIFs.
Yeah. You got any GIFs? GIFs, whatever they're called.
I had a couple of those.
But I feel like it's measurable. The R squared's a lot higher for reliability. But at the same time, I think the transparency effort. What do you think about Anonymous? I think that's.
I love what they're doing. That's great. I appreciate that, but I think it's a little bit of a slippery slope because who knows when one of those anonymous members is going to have some personal campaign against a company or a personal campaign against an issue that might not necessarily be
like
an
Trump?
issue. Yeah, that. Well, I mean, that's fine that they have an issue with Trump. However, but there's a lot of people that like Trump.
They actually probably like
know?
Trump because he doesn't give a shit about regulating the internet. So,
Right.
Well, that's kind of like, that was the first thing that popped into my head when we were talking about what happens if they get your computer or get into your all your stuff. Well, nothing is 100% these days.
no,
Absolutely nothing's 100%. So,
No.
Yeah.
What you were saying earlier about, I guess, the ethical nature of Facebook and Google and how they have a lot of lobbyists, I would totally agree with you in the sense that they do seem to be doing all the right things. They are definitely consumer advocates more so than a lot of other companies. It's refreshing to see companies as large as that.
Yeah.
And I like that you compared them to oil companies because, yeah, it's two totally separate industries. However, they're probably similar in their political influence and their ability to influence the overall economy.
Right. I'd rather them than the Koch brothers, though.
Yeah, I don't see any of those oil companies being consumer advocates. I see them being just pocket stuffers.
Right, because they can hide behind a brand. There's no one person I was trying to write a bit about why we give a shit so much about the president and not the other branches of government. It's, you all right?
Hey, we're good.
It's because we can hate on one.
Yeah, it's easy to blame.
We can get all our anger about America and go, fucking Obama.
I hate Obama.
Oh, goddamn Obama. Even though, like, statistically he might have done better than people realize.
Yeah.
But he played way more golf, so people are pissed, all that shit. But, like, with ExxonMobil, I don't know who runs that shit.
No,
I know the Koch brothers have some influence with them. They probably have a lot of investment in that. But you can't.
Yeah, it's just the face that everybody put. It's an association, and everyone wants to look to one person to point blame to, and they just do it with whoever's most associated.
Right. I went on stage and I go, someone could tell me who's in the Senate for Florida, anybody, and no one could do
Marco
it.
Rubio.
I was like, you just fucking made my point. Yeah. Well, no one could.
Because he doesn't show up, and that's the only reason I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting right into that sweet spot. Anything else you want?
Diverging into politics.
Well, that's how we do, man. We get on Tangent Highway, and I'm the driver. What? Anything else you want to talk about? Partially, put it out there. Any small businesses that are listening?
Yeah, I would say, if you're a business that has a relatively expensive product or service that might be a barrier to entry for a lot of your customers, think about offering a payment plan option to your customers. And I think that a lot of businesses will notice that they'll experience an increase in sales because now you'll have a larger percentage of your potential customers that can now afford access to your product or service. So it's definitely conducive to larger ticket items. Luxury items work perfectly for it.
Well, let's do this. Let's have you back in like 3 months, and we'll get an update.
That'd be fantastic.
We'll get like a late Q1 update and see all about the premium part, because that's a big thing. You're taking it to another level. You guys have had great success in 3 months.
We have, and I'm very excited actually with how everything's going. It's definitely exceeded my expectations, and I'd love to be back in 3 months. Toco Works has definitely helped me out so far where we are. They've got some things they're going to be launching soon that I'm really excited about, but I want to thank Toco Works for sure for helping us out.
Yeah, man. Of course. We want to have that transparency. We're going to help our friends that want to actually do something too. That's the other part,
Yeah.
Borrowing that Google 20% rule. It's not just for us internally, but it's also, all right, we want to help our buddies out. We hope it comes back to us. If it doesn't, we didn't expect it. So, I know been a lot better. You're, in my wedding kind of thing, but it's definitely a little bit different where it's like, we're going to give some effort over and beyond, and not talking about just your stuff, which we haven't even I feel like we got a lot ahead of us, but you try to go out of your way to help anybody that really wants to do something, and you hope it comes back almost karmically. Karmatically. All right.
Well, it's great when you have friends that are trying to do stuff with their lives, trying to move forward and trying to start something unique and new,
And it's contagious.
I would
fired up.
I would fully support all my friends becoming entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
If you have a passion and a drive, I definitely think you should try to do something on your own rather than just work for the man, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Right. I support Caleb's competitive eating career that he wants to do. I mean, he's really working on it.
I'm trying to be a large male model for small shirts. That's
Okay.
what I'm trying to do.
Plus
Get in
size
a
model.
Dove commercial or something.
Yeah. That's the hope, the dream, the
All
goal.
right. I think we got to end it on that. For Ben Schmid partially, for Caleb, I'm Law. Toko Works. Goodbye.